Why are stunning handcrafted websites still failing to convert? If you built your own website and you feel like it's not quite working, this video today might reveal why. Hi, I'm Krista Jones, and I help creative entrepreneurs turn their websites into client magnet machines. Today, we're diving into 10 of the most common DIY website design mistakes I see people make all the time. And don't worry, we're not just pointing out the problems, I'm going to tell you how to fix them too. So let's dive into these mistakes. Mistake number 1, hard to read typography. Fonts like all caps or script fonts or overly light text on pale backgrounds may look beautiful, but they're often illegible, especially on mobile devices. Fonts should be functional first and then stylish. Try to limit your scripts and your all caps to short headlines or tiny bits of text. Imagine reading an all caps cursive paragraph on a beige background on your phone in bright sunlight. Probably pretty impossible to make out what it actually says. Here's the fix though. You could try using a modern sans serif or serif for your body copy and limit all decorative fonts to short headers, and then test the contrast using accessibility tools like WebAIM. This matters because if your viewer can't read your copy, they're never going to engage with your brand. Clarity builds trust. Mistake number 2, disorganized or overloaded galleries. Many websites tend to dump all of their portfolio work into one giant gallery, which quickly becomes visually overwhelming and it lacks narrative. For example, a photographer who houses maternity photos and senior photos and weddings and brand photos all in one place doesn't help a couple envision their wedding day. Instead of putting all of those images in one big gallery, try curating your galleries by individual product. Limit images in the gallery to your best, most relevant work. And if you're a photographer, no more than 40 images per gallery. This will help them load quickly and make it easier for people to get an idea of what you actually offer. People buy what they can imagine themselves in, and a messy gallery breaks that visualization. Mistake number 3, no text on the homepage. A homepage with only an image or a little bit of copy or no copy at all, no header, no explanation, misses a chance to communicate who you are and why somebody should stay on your site. If someone lands on your site and all they see is a pretty photo, they may assume it's a photography portfolio and not a service-based businesses. I think it can be kind of trendy to do these really simple pages, but they're not great for the users and they're also not great for search engines. Instead of that super simple homepage, try adding a bold headline that makes it really clear what you do, who you do it for, and what transformation you deliver. For example, brand photography for bold creatives ready to stand out online. The average visitor to a website decides whether to stay or leave in under 10 seconds, so clarity wins attention. Mistake number 4, overcomplicating contact forms. Lengthy, multi-page, multi-click contact forms with too many required fields increase friction. Most users are not going to bother to complete all of those form fields. You don't want to have to make them think about what they have to answer. For example, if you work in the wedding industry and you're asking for people's budget and venue and Instagram handle and how they heard about you and 3 ideal dates, they might bounce before even submitting that contact form. It's okay to ask for those details at some point, but save it for after that initial inquiry. Because if they never inquire, you never get to start that conversation. Ask only for what you need to actually begin the conversation, which is probably their name, their email, and a message box. You can collect the rest later in your process. Lowering client friction is going to result in more inquiries, period. Mistake number 5, having default page titles like home or gallery. Those generic page titles are bad for search engines, and they're also unhelpful for users who are trying to navigate between the 20 open browser tabs in their browser window. Plus, when those tab names are super straightforward, they miss a chance to reinforce your brand. For example, home tells Google nothing, but custom brand design for coaches by Studio Bloom adds keywords as well as context. The fix is really simple. Go in and update every page title and meta description. Include your brand name as well as relevant keywords. This is going to improve search visibility as well as help potential clients understand what they're actually looking at. Mistake number 6, missing or inconsistent photos of yourself. People hire people. And if your headshot is grainy, you're not looking at the camera, or missing altogether, you're missing a major trust builder. And this is becoming even more important as AI is becoming better and better at creating images as well as videos quickly. The businesses that are going to win in the long run are the ones that have the most trust, and that trust comes from people knowing who it is that they're giving money to. Without a face behind a business, consumers are far less likely to trust it and use it. For example, a copywriter with no image or one random selfie on their about page is not building a lot of trust with potential clients. Investing in a brand shoot or at least a few clean, well-lit images of you working or smiling naturally, looking at the camera is going to go a long way towards building trust. It humanizes your brand, and visitors want to see the face behind your service. Mistake number 7, too many pages that fragment the journey. Creating a separate page for every piece of information on your website, like testimonials, FAQ, pricing, turns your site into a scavenger hunt. If a user has to click 4 times to figure out how to work with you, that's 3 chances to lose them. Instead, consolidate information onto cornerstone pages. For example, put testimonials and pricing ranges and all of your process details, as well as examples of your work, on each individual service pages. This improves the experience for both people visiting your site as well as for search engines. A streamlined navigation is going to result in a better user experience, which will then result in a longer time people spend on your site. Mistake number 8, no social proof or testimonials. You're asking people to trust you with their money, memories, or business, and that's a big ask without any validation if you have 0 social proof on your website. For example, a wedding planner with no testimonials on her website is forcing couples to take a risk based on blind trust. Instead of having 0 testimonials, you should try to use 2 to 3 testimonials on every key page of your website, especially pages where decisions are made. This is going to include the homepage, the services pages, if you're a product-based business, your checkout pages, even your contact page. By adding those testimonials, you're building trust, and that trust is going to reduce buyer hesitation. Reviews show that you've done this before and that you've done it well and are capable of getting results. Mistake number 9, making it all about you and not about the client. Your about page or your homepage copy shouldn't just say what you love. It should connect that passion to someone else's needs. For example, I've loved design since I was 6 isn't as compelling as saying I help overwhelmed entrepreneurs design a brand they're proud to show off. Instead, reframe your copy to speak directly to your ideal client's struggles, desires, and transformation. Client-centric language is way more engaging. It tells them that you understand them and their needs and that you're capable of helping them. Mistake number 10, neglecting mobile optimization. If you only test your site on a desktop, you're missing how most people probably see and engage with your website, which is on their phones. Menus that disappear, text that wraps oddly or overlaps each other, galleries that don't swipe are probably going to result in bounces. To check your site on multiple phone sizes and multiple phone browsers, use mobile optimization settings in your builder, prioritize speed and readable font sizes. A frustrating mobile experience is going to result in lost leads. Simple as that. Avoiding these common mistakes can significantly enhance your website's effectiveness. Remember, your site should still serve your clients' needs and reflect your brand authentically. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more insights. And don't forget to grab our free website review guide. I'm going to link it down below. Let's make your online presence unforgettable.